Hey Homeworthy, I'm Tom Cox, welcome to my home in Devon.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hey, I'm Tom Cox, I'm one of the co-founders at HÁM Interiors and we're at my house in Devon. I've always wanted to live somewhere that's kind of tucked away and a bit wild. I was looking for a long time and it was really difficult to find the right property that kind of ticked all the boxes. I've been going down to Devon as a child for a long time. And we always drove past this part of Devon as kids. We'd always go down to the coast because we're just up on the edge of Exmoor, which is a really beautiful national park, but it's not an obvious destination for a lot of people. For a number of years, I was coming down here with friends, shooting and enjoying the countryside. And eventually I was just desperate for some escapism. You know, we've got a really busy life up at work and I needed somewhere to kind of decamp for the weekends and kind of recharge the creative batteries. So yeah, started looking. The house came on the market. I came up to the house to see it and fell in love with it. It's a really beautiful house. It's over 400 years old. It's listed, so you can't do too much to it. So you kind of got to, you know, there's limitations to what you can do. And it had lovely bones, like inside you'll see it's got these beautiful screens and it had a lovely old kitchen and had lots of elements of the house that were just beautiful. And it was one of these projects where I could move into and just slowly, you know, when I had the energy, just nibble through it and sort of create my forever home. To get to the house, you come through this down a lane and into a private farm, and it really looks like there's nothing past the farm because you get some beautiful old stone buildings and there's a really kind of rough access track in one corner, and you weave yourself up through that access and you get onto this kind of farm track which goes, you know, up quite a steep incline up to the top of this valley, and it's amazing. On one side you've got this beautiful kind of gorse bank, it's full of ferns, it's really magical. You see, most times when I'm driving home, you see red deer running across the drive, and you kind of keep going up and finally you get to the house. And it's a beautiful stone house tucked at the top of this valley. It used to be two workers' cottages at one point and then it was combined. The main house is stone built and it's got a lovely separate cottage in the garden which is stone built. And the whole house is like on a slope, so there's just loads of lovely sort of pocketed areas where, you know, there's great places to have a cup of tea in the morning with different views. There's so many different views to the house and it's all on a slope. So by the time you get to the back of the house, you've got these amazing views down to the valley. Welcome to my office, and I guess it's a bit of a chill out room for me and my fiance. We spend a lot of time up here. I work from home a day a week, so really I created this space to create like a calm environment, fill it with all of the stuff that I've collected that I love and that I find inspirational. And yeah, it's really a bit of a creative chamber for me. You know, I try and work from home on a Friday. I work on projects that require a lot of creativity, so it's quite nice to have a break from the, you know, from the chaos of the office sometimes and come here. So yeah, so when I bought the house, the people lived here for a long time. This was a little bit of an art studio. You know, its form was there. It had wooden floors. And it was a different colour. So I sort of recarpeted it, repainted the space. I really wanted it to feel quite light and kind of quite natural. So the paint is Farrow & Ball setting plaster, which is a really, really lovely colour we work a lot with, and it just creates a really nice natural canvas. I mean, what you're seeing in this room is really a representation of me and my personality. You know, you got skateboards here, which, you know, when I was younger, I loved skating. They played a big part in my childhood. And obviously now I'm a dad and I'm a bit older, I don't get on the skateboards anymore. So I just kind of look at them as art form. I sometimes get the longboard out when we go down to the coast. You know, when I've got free time down here, I love fly fishing. We're really lucky where we are in Exmoor. We've got some amazing rivers where you can go out in the evening and fly fish or go out for the day. So I've got some of my rods, some of my nets, my fishing kit. I love collecting like fish related kind of objects and art. This is a trophy of a salmon court on the River Dee in Scotland, which I bought a long time ago. Got some fish related little brass things here. And again, like all the books, like sporting lodges, I love taking inspiration from kind of old hunting lodges and the decoration of them. There's some cool stuff. There's other books here. A place that I go to when I'm up in Scotland occasionally. There's a hotel called the Fife Arms near an estate that I stay at. And yeah, it's a bit of fun. It's full of crazy artwork and it's a great place to visit, quite inspirational. There's kind of more old fish trophies, cool painting of a trout that I bought. These are just antlers that I've collected over the years. A couple of case salmon. Come around here, my fishing vest, my waders to keep them dry. Keep a couple of flies on my lampshade here. But really for me, like there's loads of books and inspirational things for me to look at in here. I usually sit on this desk, work here. I love having like a clear space where I can look at reference books and kind of get inspired. And another place where I work. He's cool. This guy's an old gentleman that I bought off of a friend of mine who wanted to sell it. Up on this wall, I mean, I've put a lot of art on the vaults of the ceiling here, which is quite tricky because obviously, one, it's a hazard if it falls off, but it's all very safe. So, no one worry. These pictures here are from my travels up in Scotland to different estates that I've been to. There's a little picture of my little boy Wolfie wearing an engagement ring around his neck when I proposed to my other half up in Scotland. And they're just great memories of places that have truly inspired me and that are very close to my heart. Again, like the furniture's kind of a mix. This is an outdoor director's chair by Snow Peak. I love Snow Peak stuff, but it's just quite cool. I like having, I use a lot of kind of outdoorsy stuff inside. That's my fly fishing box, which is full of stuff I grab when I go fishing. I put a bed up here, not because I nap when I'm working. I don't have time, sadly. I wish I did. But sometimes we have friends stay. Their kids love staying up here because it's just kind of quite magical for them, and I think they love it. And our friends stay downstairs. My fiance's very close to giving birth to another boy soon, and I know that she likes to get away from the chaos of the main house and have a little afternoon nap up here. So it's good to see it's getting used and I'm not here. And this is I had a pair of these that I bought ages ago that I had repainted in Farron Ball, I think Charlotte's Locks. They're like old French beds. I love them. And yeah, I've kind of hung on to loads of stuff like that and just incorporated it into the rooms that I've created. I mean, looking at the art, I mean, it's so diverse. I mean, some of it's, this guy's an American artist, Eric Stefanski's really cool. This is painted locally. We've got some cool dogs on this side. I love collecting dog portraits. That's from a British artist called Pearl. These are old portraits of dogs. And a few other things that I've just picked up on my travels just because they've connected with me. This was painted by an artist and a friend of mine and given to me as a present. It's an interesting little place to hang out. It's a fantastic, fantastic space to work. The dogs come up here. Boo goes in that bed. Is she gone now? Boo, she's on that sofa there. Boo's having a little nap. She has got a bed, but she loves it up here, don't you, Boo? Eh? Boo's an old girl now, but she's doing good. She's in a retirement home up in the valley. But yeah, it's great. It's just being home. Love it. There's a cool little... I love these. I picked these up from online from a dealer, which have got different trout painted on them. And they're really cute. I fill them with all sorts of stuff. I've got like a little sticker drawer. We're quite like... I've always been obsessed with stickers. I love them. Maybe it's just from my skating drawers. Don't look in that drawer. It's so messy. We'll close that. But yeah, these are some stickers that we send out to like Studio HÁM clients, and yeah, I've always got some cool stickers. As you can see, my laptop's always covered in them. But yeah, it's a bit of fun. The starlight layering and creating all these different fabrics and the stripes and some of these, I guess, more like tray blanket designs that I've got. I mean, for me, like I always keep the whole kind of palette quite muted. So, for example, Nothing's, the canvas of the room for a start has got some nice colour. We've got this green carpet, but it's all very kind of grounded. And then you can be really playful. Like, this is one of our ticking sofas that we make at HÁM, and we love black ticking because it's kind of reminiscent of like it's an old sort of antique covering. And again, like chucking some green corduroy, it's really simple. And then you can kind of really mix in stripes, some kind of bolder patterns in with it. And it, for me, it always works. Rugs are a great thing, quite muted, not bad. They add layers to it. But yeah, I think for me, it's the skill set is getting that kind of grounding of colour and materiality, whether it's, like a nice kind of reclaimed wood, old antiques, and then just building on it. And I think for me, like the stripes always work, pops of colour always work. Having the pop of orange is cool. It adds something it adds interest into the room. So, I guess it's just something that I've learned over time and it works. I've got two of my dear friends own an amazing company called Jamb, and this is one of their lights. I've had it for a long time. I've moved it from house to house. I probably need to replace some of the glass because I think as it's been moved so many times. But yeah, architectural lighting, they do amazing stuff. And again, it just adds, it adds that lovely layer and detail. And, it's kind of right for these types of spaces. It's eclectic, it's cool. So yeah. And then, the rest of the lighting, I pick this stuff up at, I'm out a lot in my spare time going to antique places and reclamation yards and constantly buying. So I see stuff that I love. I love these standard lamps with a little table on because I just think they're so cool. I don't think we see enough of them, but I always sit there with my cup of tea, put a candle on it. I love old tea caddies because again, they're kind of, there's something that, they were for storing tea, but they're so decorative. This is a slightly more modern one, but I've got lots of old tea caddies kicking around. I think that's what you call them anyway. Yeah, my career path has, I've always been a creative, but my sort of early career, I kind of did some other stuff, worked in different types of businesses, not necessarily as creative. Maybe some of what I was doing was creative, but in a different sense, maybe like in a more business sense. We grew up around cool stuff and, mum and dad are really talented designers. They were always buying antiques. You kind of just get it ingrained in you a little bit. And there was an opportunity when I'd sort of finished a job that I'd been working on to go and work with mum and dad. They've been doing it a long time. We decided to start a new company called HÁM in 2010 together, which my sister joined shortly after. And yeah, we've always loved, creative projects for lovely people, a lot of the time for families. And that was really what we set out to do with HÁM. And as we've, continued to grow the brand and the business, we've done some really cool stuff. The business is quite big now. It's, we've got an architecture side, we do interior architecture, we do interior decoration. We've got a small build team where we take certain projects on with, but a lot of the time on some of the bigger projects, we're working with other contractors and sometimes other architects. We've got a fantastic team, really talented. And we've also got a store that I run with my sister called Studio HÁM, which sells all the stuff that we love to people, to sort of retail clients and also to the trade. We support other designers and we've got a range of furniture. It's a lot of fun. And it's really, both businesses are a massive creative outlet. We're working on projects all over the UK, some in Europe. We're now working in America, which is really exciting and are continuing to do so. And the Studio HÁM side's amazing because we get to do stuff that we really love and show people, and it's just amazing to see people buying into that and really loving it and seeing it in projects. Welcome to our guest room. This is where we let our guests stay when they come and visit the cottage. This is directly below my office. Originally, when I built this room, it was when I lived here on my own. I wanted to create kind of a little escape from the house where I could hang out and had a big enough bath in, because I'm 6'5", so one of my dreams was to have a bath where that I could actually enjoy and fit in easily. So I created this little guest suite. It's really cool. It's super cozy. I've gone for some like earthy reds in here. a painting that one of my friends did of an elk antler. I had some reclaimed wood that I found in the garage of the house, in one of the barns, and you know, I had a quite a cool little shape cut out for this really lovely wall light. This kind of shape is like reminiscent throughout a lot of the design in here, like even on the headboard we do this like step detail. It's just an interesting shape that I like. I've seen it on a lot of trade blankets and a lot of textiles that we love. So yeah, and again, this room's got a bit of a theme that's, you know, a bit outdoorsy. Got a cool old tin trade sign of a salmon, some sort of trade blanket inspired fabric on the headboard. The valance is just corduroy, which we do a lot of, and the cushions are corduroy with just like a buff linen piping on them, which is cool, like a corded piping. These tables I've had for ages. They've actually been in our family for ages, and they needed to go to good homes, so I grabbed them, and they got cool little ram's heads, which is lovely because this house is in the middle of a very old and beautiful sheep farm. So that was a bit of fun. There's a lovely bathroom here, which I created these divisions. I've been doing these cross details on joinery for a long time and love it. It's kind of inspired by the American barn. Got a lovely guest bathroom with a really cool bath. One of our vanities that we sell through the business called the X Vanity. One of our mirrors, and these are jamb lights from my friends, which are really cool. Visual comfort star pendant. We use a lot of these, which I love. These are our HÁM handles that we make, which we put into a lot of projects. And yeah, I love bluestone. I spent a lot of time in Belgium, and I just love the canvas it gives you. It's really honest. It's very kind of pared back, and it's a great material. It's just got a certain look that I love. So the floors from is hand cut over in Belgium and brought over. The tiles are like a zillige tile, and I chose this trim. I hadn't done it before. I just love the kind of little detail of it. It kind of reminded me of a bit kind of western-y, you know, bit of just an interesting detail. But again, like a lot of people do the zillige in just square on square. I did it in brick format to make it a bit more traditional. But yeah, I love how it's turned out. We do these little handles on showers, which are really cool. These little fists, something a bit different. Waterworks sanitary ware. This, I've got like a thing about towel radiators in bathrooms, so I always try and do something a bit different. The plumber nearly killed me on this one, but he had to make this off-site in his garage out of copper, which is cool, with like really industrial fittings. I love like traditional toilets, so we've kind of got a really, it's a modern kind of system, but with more of a traditional base. And these are all made in England. And yeah, it was just me having some fun and doing what I love. And yeah, there's if you come in here, I built the bath in with a nice cross detail to match the doors. Lots of Arabescato marble, which I love. A really cool shelf made out of it as well. A painting that I had commissioned for here by one of our artists of an eagle. And again, love having flowers and plants at home, and it just gives it a, you know, softens everything. So like my style, my personal style, and the style for this house is very eclectic. I mean, it's full of stuff that really I love, and I guess given the location where we are, I mean, I've spent a long time travelling to beautiful areas, and I've always been drawn to kind of the outdoors, whether it's going up to Scotland and spending time on beautiful estates, you know, being in the mountains in America, all over the place, Norway, and kind of over time I've collected a lot of stuff and inspiration on my travels that have kind of brought me back to those places. So that's really influenced my own style for the house, and kind of, you know, how I've collected over the years has always kind of been how I wanted to live, but I never really had the right house to show that collection in. It's very, very eclectic. There's loads of artwork that I've collected over the years. I mean, I work, you know, from a business point of view, I'm really lucky. I work with some great artists. So, you know, you'll see some of their art in here. I'm also constantly buying and collecting. I mean, the room that we're in now, the ceilings are covered in art because I've just run out of wall space. Colour palette for the house, the materiality is really drawn from kind of quite a natural palette. It really brings the outside in. And the style for this house is, I guess I wanted to create a form of escapism, something that really kind of is all-consuming when you're in it. And that really is a layered build-up of, you know, natural materials, you know, a certain colour palette, antiques. I mean, you know, you're sitting here with you know, quite eclectic stuff. We've got like a corduroy sofa, some kind of trade-style cushions, pops of colour. You can't see it here, but I've got like a waxed khaki camo footstool. The majority of it is designed to kind of bring the outside in, and even with all the artefacts, whether they're sort of antlers that have been found locally or fishing trophies and other items, it really kind of adds a story. And yeah, when I come back here, it's amazing because I just adore everything I'm surrounded by, and it really inspires me. And yeah, I think it's really important when you're making homes for people or even for yourself that you surround yourself with stuff that makes you happy, that you connect with. It's interesting, it's layered, and you know, not necessarily trendy, it's just stuff that I love, and it's quite classic. And yeah, that's my kind of go-to. Yeah, well, welcome to like one of the outdoor areas we use a lot. This sort of shed here is a kind of outdoor kitchen, wood store, and a little area we make pizzas up here. We've got a wood-fired little tub that we put on some evenings, and it's beautiful out here. It's a really dark sky where we are near Exmoor, so it's an amazing place to be. So we use this garden room to hang out in. We have little date nights up here. We bring Wolfie up here for pizza. It's a great space. It's one of those spaces that we reimagined. It was an old, quite dilapidated shed, so you know, we put a cool terracotta floor in that we had custom made, weatherboarded it all inside, put this like open joinery in which I designed, which is in lime dope, like a really nice natural material. Had our brass worker make a sink for it, which was quite good fun. So this was all handmade for this project in England. Really cool waterworks tap with a really nice kind of aged copper handle, which is just like getting really nice and gnarly. It's kind of aging really nicely. But yeah, it's a gorgeous space, and it's just another cool little place to come and hang out. I sometimes come up here, put the radio on, cook a bit of food, and then Jarrah comes up and joins me. But yeah, it's a great corner. Got a cool another fish, our Studio HÁM salmon bottle opener, which is good fun. This is like a cool old bar I bought a long time ago. And if we've got lots of friends, we'll kind of move this planter and put, you know, lovely sharing plates out, and, you know, we'll cook pizza and we'll use this to make the pizza. The wood-fired tub's amazing. Since we've had the little one, we don't get to use it as much, but we will start using it more. But it's just lovely. It's one of those things, it's like, it's slow. You've got to put the wood in it, you've got to get it warm, and it's just like a really nice it's the type of stuff that I love doing at home, because my work life is so fast paced. You know, when you're here, you've got time to do stuff like that, and it just makes the whole place magical. Axe for chopping a bit of wood if we need it for the hot tub. Some nice herbs in there, got some thyme and chives and stuff, which we use for cooking. When I moved into the house, everything was on a massive gradient. We didn't have anywhere to kind of chill, so built this massive sun lounger, and you know, the whole property is south facing, so you get amazing sun all day. And we hang out up here. Wolfie comes up and plays on this, our little boy, and it's just a great family space. You can see all his tractors over there. This is his little pirate flag. It's Wolfie's little camp now, which is a bit of fun that I got him. So yeah, and got a little yeti we fill up with cold drinks for the day, and also that's a really cool outdoor fire which gets going. So it's a wicked space to hang out like on a lovely evening. I built all this, so I mean, it's hard because everything's on a slope, but I just wanted to build a platform that was flat. It was an old veg bed. So yeah, it worked out really, really well. We filled it with like a natural hoggin, which is a really nice natural material. So it's like a gravel, but it compacts. I had designed all of these handrails with live bark edge, you know, with a nice cross detail because I love it. And it turned out amazing. It's cool. It kind of feels like it's been here forever. veg garden's kind of gone in this year. Jeremiah, the half's put this in, and yeah, we always do lettuces and stuff every year, and it's just great to be able to come up to the garden and grab some food when you need it. The lady I bought the house off had been here for a long time. The gardens are just like insane. I mean, I've obviously done stuff to them, but really I've kind of become a custodian for what she left, and I've really taken care to make sure that I look after everything. I mean, you know, she was here for 20, 30 years, and she was obsessed with planting. So I'm really, really lucky to have kind of, you know, one of the things that drew me to the property was like the mature gardens and the setting. So I was super lucky. And yeah, so it takes a lot of looking after, but it's just amazing. It's beautiful. And if you kind of come from where I'm stood now and look out, you'll get an idea at some of the views of the house. It's really, really special. This is a really lovely area where we just put towels down and sunbathe. It's got a completely different view, but it's got these amazing mature flower beds, an old stone building, and it's just a really lovely, again, it's just an amazing sun trap. We sometimes put a dining table up here in the summer, so we've got 2 places to eat. But yeah, and it's all next to this whole rewilded area. Like the farm we live on is beautiful, and the guys that own the farm just do such a beautiful job with you know, they've left a lot of the land to just rewild, but they've also, you know, they've got this amazing sheep farm, and it's amazing the way they operate the whole thing. So it's great to be just sat up in the middle of it. It's really cool. Like another like stepped area to the garden that's just like full of amazing plants. Like all these wild daisies are out at the minute, and yeah, it's full of life here. There's bees everywhere. There's owls. There's deer. It's just magical. There's kingfishers, because from the top field, when it rains, there's a stream that runs through and fills up a pond and then goes down to the rest of the valley. And when it's raining, the whole valley is just rushing with water. You can hear it. It's so amazing. It's almost like the type of thing you pay to have on your podcast. You've just got it. You open your window, and there's kingfishers, and we've had baby ducklings in there, and yeah, it's really beautiful. It's a wild part of the world. This, well, I call it's Wolfie's world now, and like, it's so cool to have kids because you start to see the world through them, and it's so exciting. And like, his first words were deer, you know, because he saw the deer, and I've been saying, look at the deer, Wolfie. We see him in the morning, and he says baba for the sheep, and moo-moos, and like, and nay-nays. It's all everything. He wakes up in the morning. I hear him when I wake up in the morning. His first words are, he calls the dogs Go-Go, well, Go-Go and Boo. And he just says, dear, dear, dear. And like, I just imagine he's in this amazing little world. And, you know, it's so cool to see. So yeah, I think he's in heaven, and he's outside the whole time. Even if it's raining, he's got these cool little Patagonia overalls and waterproofs. We just put him in them. And yeah, he loves it. So it's magical for everyone, really. There's a lovely stream that fills this pond up that then, when there's rainwater, goes down off of the edge, and it goes down to another stream. It's an amazing sound. So I spend quite a lot of time down here. I've got a little wood-fired sauna, a little tank that I fill up with cold water, which is great. I've been doing it for years. I've always loved cold water. I've been, you know, every time I've been up to Scotland in the winter, we've always done it. So it's quite cool. It's a reset. I mean, everyone's doing it now, but I just generally love it. You're right in nature here. It resets you from a stressful week. But yeah, it's lovely. And this is where I walk the dogs. And it's a great time to just think, to sort of decompress a bit after work. This is Boo and Margot. Boo's getting a bit old now, but Margot's quite young and she's quite fast. But yeah, there's always deer around everywhere, which is really nice. And the wildlife and the bird song here is amazing. This is like the front of the house. It's really beautiful. Like, it's old. You see all the stonework. It's got some amazing plants growing up it, and yeah, it's just amazing. The flowers on this at certain times of year are just incredible. So yeah, the wisteria is amazing. It's really cool. And yeah, we spend a lot of time. This is like near the kitchen. This is a little area we have if it's nice weather and we don't want to go up the top, we lay the table here, we hang out. It's gorgeous. You get the sun here in the evening, you're looking up the valley, and yeah, it's heaven. Bit of classical FM on, and yeah, it's gorgeous. Some of the stuff that we're going to get into working in America is this kind, is this kind of like escapism design, I guess, which what I call it. And it's that working in amazing houses where you can create a narrative and create like an incredible experience from the minute you walk in. And as a company, one of our skill sets is to touch the whole project, and we've got so many cool, our supply chain's quite unique in a sense that we've got like in-house artists, so we can create art for it. We buy so many beautiful artifacts that we can integrate into these projects. We can really kind of create these amazing worlds. And for me, we work on all sorts of projects, some in the countryside, some in towns, some on lakes, some in, I guess sort of mountainous environments. But I think for us, like from a creative point of view, being able to lean into a narrative and get immersed in a project. I mean, you can create some amazing spaces that, become people's homes and they just absolutely love. And that's what makes us tick. Well, welcome to the kitchen, which is kind of part of it's the hub. We spend a lot of time, me and Jarrett and Wolfie are massive foodies, so we're always in here eating. One of the things that like really pulled me into the house was the kitchen. I mean, it's difficult to explain, but like the weather comes down the valley through here, and you almost feel like you're in this kind of ship's galley. It's like so cozy when the weather's outside, when the weather's kind of going, it rains a lot down in Devon. And the minute I walked into this kitchen, I absolutely loved it. And I loved the old guy that lived here was a carpenter and an engineer, and he made these cabinets. Yeah, tried to keep everything as original as possible in this kitchen. Obviously, he did the most amazing job with all this cabinetry. There were some timber tops that were quite badly damaged, so I put a bluestone top with a chiseled edge, which is something we do a lot, which I love. I put a centre light over the table. That's not very centred anymore because we had to get a bigger fridge and a smaller table since having the little one. But yeah, the Aga has been here forever. I mean, it's like I had an agent come and have a look at the house who grew up here, and it was here when she was growing up. So it's like, it must be 20, 30 years old, and it's so reliable and brilliant. I put a new 40mm Carrera top around the sink and some new like reclaimed bib taps that I bought. I love bib taps. And I found these extra large ones, which I had to get, but they're just beautiful. I had them reconditioned. They're really cool. So yeah, new top. That's the old Carrera, which is wicked. It's like really battered, and it's got these tiled shells, which I love. I put a brass splashback behind the Aga to add a bit of detail. But it had all these amazing hooks for hanging stuff. And yeah, it's small, but it's super functional. And like being able to cook on the Aga, it's so nice. And we have it on all year round. A lot of people turn their Agas off in the summer, but we just keep it on low and use it. And if it's really nice weather and we want to cook breakfast and we go up to the top kitchen, we sometimes cook up there. But yeah, the ceilings in the house were just like literally, I'm 6'5" and I have to duck in a lot of places, but a lot of the houses that I looked at with this kind of character all had low ceilings, so it was a bit of a trade-off. But I'm fine. It's my friends that are just about tall enough that always hit their head. I'm so used to ducking. I'm good now. I put this shelving in for a bit of extra storage and a little cutlery drawer, and we keep all of our yetis and all of our stuff for outside down here. These screens are incredible. These are in the property. These are listed, and they just add so much lovely detail. There's lots of things that I love. Like, I mean, we've got a normal kettle, but I love putting a proper kettle on. It's so nice to do, and making pots of tea. And like, that's the whole thing for me here, is just like slowing down a bit. We always put a tablecloth on when we eat. We always light candles. I love listening to the radio when I'm down here. It's great. We've got a good coffee machine because I love coffee, and there's not many flat whites found locally. So yeah, that's it. But so really it was, I took the canvas and respected everything and kept as much of it as I could because I just love the vibe of it, and I've repainted it a slightly different shade to it was originally. Yeah, this gate was on the house originally. I mean, I don't know what it was used for, but it's super handy when you've got a little 2-year-old that wants to get through every single doorway, and also 2 dogs when you've been out for a walk. So we keep it. Well, actually, Wolfie can now open it because he's getting very clever. But it's great. It's kind of cool. It's one of those old things that was here, and we left, and it's fantastic. This room's like the middle living room. It's a great room in the winter and at night. We've got another living room here. It's got a massive log burner that literally heats the entire house. It's got this massive old sort of nook of a fireplace. And yeah, I love it. We sit in here, we hang out. Sometimes when we've got friends, we'll sit in here and have a drink. We've got a small little TV, like a little Samsung Art TV, which are great. And, when it's a wintry evening and we're watching a series or just hanging out, fire on, it's just a really cool place to be. It's got these amazing original screens. Some of my favourite old artwork, I've had this piece of artwork for a long time. It's by a British artist and it's been with me everywhere. The scale of this house is quite tricky because I've got some quite big pieces and I've got a lot of stuff that I have to keep up at the office because it's just too big to put anywhere. But that's really cool. Sofa is an old antique sofa that I bought and had recovered. Corduroy, I wear a lot of a brand called Maharishi, and I actually bought some of their blankets that were just like throws to make the sofa cushions out of because I just love the pattern, and I've got some of their cushions. So this is all custom made out of Maharishi stuff, and it's got some ticking. This is a great stool. This is our West stool that is one of our products, and it's just lovely. It's a great little stool to stick in boot rooms and just stick your feet up on. Like here, the sitting in here is quite tricky, especially now we've had Wolfie. We need to it's great to be able to push stuff over a bit and he can have a little run around. I've got this, I was really lucky to buy stuff off a really cool kind of folk artist called Martin Scory. And this is one of the bits of his that I kept. It's just a really nice hand-painted pike. I love all the fish related stuff. This is really cool. It's like an old bee's keep that I've used as a side table. You don't see them that often, but it's a lovely thing and quite fitting for here. Yeah, I bought that I was looking for something I needed something quite long. I bought that and I had the top repainted and it's a cool little bamboo chest. The artwork, little hardware sign that was made by one of the artists that is really talented that works with us at Studio HÁM. Did that for me, the same as the One Shot Gang. It's like an old school folk sign that. It's not gang related, don't worry. But yeah, and again, watercolour of a trout. This is an artist called Mick Manning that I buy. He does some really cool stuff. So I've got lots of his bits. Cool little toy ball that I bought for Wolfie. Little decoy pigeon. This guy's called the Tiddler. It's the little guy holding a trout. And then a carved bison and just stuff that I've just picked up. And I love these just little things. These are little incense things, but they're just cool. Little cabin. They're just good fun. This one, the chimney smokes when you put something in it. And yeah, again, just cool striped fabrics. This is one of our Studio HÁM lights in I think it's drab green. And yeah, always a fireplace full of fire. Some antlers I've had for a while. A few bits from again when I'm traveling, my interior changes quite a lot sometimes. This room used to be dark green and we then painted it setting plaster because we were spending more time in here since we had Wolfie. So it's always changing. I bought this from a place up in the Catskills and a Frisbee, and I just think it's fun to chuck up. I love stuff like oars, hand painted paddles are just, it's such a nice thing because again, it's something you use in the outdoors, but it's also got that it's got a decorative element to it, which I just think is super cool. Using stuff like that inside. I mean, I've got an axe. I'm not crazy. It's just to split kindling for when I make a fire. That I bought for Wolfie, Mr. Fox. He loves that. The doors were original, so I've kept those, but I scumble painted them. A guy that works with us who's really talented came up and just gave a little bit of detail to them, which is really nice. And again, I love plants. I've had this terrarium for ages and it's done so well. And it's just so nice to have that kind of frame in the outside, and the same with the money tree or the money plant. This is a sort of an Irish kennel dresser. It's got such beautiful detail and the colour's so cool. I don't really drink anymore. I have like the odd whiskey like every now and then, and it's just a lovely place to like have. I've got some great whiskies from places I've been in Scotland. Just cool little bits that I've collected. This is for water for the whiskies, a little pirate kind of motif on. My friend made me that, a little cabin with a cross on it. It's just stuff that I've just collected forever. This is a beautiful decanter that I bought at Shepton Manor Flea Market about 15 years ago. And again, just cool stuff like these guys. I just saw them. I just love them. They're just so cool and they're just fun. Came those two in like a little tree. Yeah. So it's just bits that I'm just constantly collecting, and I love these. Like these are little hunting cups. They're like little. They're silver. They're beautiful. The detail on them is amazing. They're quite, they're collectible, these things, but they're just really nice. But just something. They've just got a vibe about them that I just love. They're old, they're handmade. People get together in the countryside and then have a drink out of them. And it's just all that stuff for me just evokes, a vibe. Got a private property, no fishing sign, obviously. This guy's called Lord Barry. I've had him forever. He was painted by one of the artists that worked for us as a present. He's like a crazy, like thin-necked cowboy, but I love him. And he was named Lord Barry. Hunting weather vane, an old goose decoy that I've had forever. Cool dog portrait from a British artist, which I love. And a few other things like this. I bought this old pharmacy sign during lockdown, and I had this. I had a Neil made that said "Sick of Life" for a bit of fun because everyone was obviously sort of stuck in. So that's a bit of fun. And then, sometimes if I've got a bit of work to do at home or some bills to do, I like to sit here. And I've had this chair forever. It was like an old French chair that I had kind of reupholstered. I think it's French. And I had it limed and reupholstered, just like quite kind of basic. So you see the whole form of it. But it's just stuff like that, just really nice. It's like very organic. It's what I love. I love collecting killums because I just think, I'm always buying killums and throwing them down. And it just adds a great... they're practical because they help save the floor. And it just adds that bit of colour and, different kind of textile. Well, I'd say like log baskets, like nothing says home more for me than like a basket full of logs. And like they have to always be full, and I'm happy because I just, I love it. And again, I just think it's an organic material that's in your home. It obviously keeps you warm. But this is an old grape pod or champagne, basket. And they're just beautiful. Like, even the baskets, I love stuff like that because they were handmade. You don't really get stuff like that anymore. And they were utilitarian use, and stuff like that. I just think adds loads of detail. They always got these little hand painted bits on, but they're great log bins. So yeah, any excuse. I've got this old rusty log bin that my friend of mine, Mimi, gave me, which is from Somerset, like a glazed pot. This kind of mesh basket. It's just cool. I just love all these bits. I think like one of the coolest things about this house is like all the old features and you'll see it when you walk around. It's so authentic and it adds such a rich kind of, it's such an amazing addition to all the other stuff that's in there. That's one of my favourite things. One of my, like it's really cool because when you're outside and you come in, they're two different worlds. But whenever you're in one or the other, you're always thinking about coming back into the house. Like if we've had a lovely day out in the garden or we've been out playing with Wolfie out in the garden and we come in and it's a chilly evening and put the fire on, it's such an enchanting kind of welcoming place, the whole thing. And the outside is interesting because the house isn't huge, but there's so many little pockets to kind of go and spend time in and so much space around it. You've got the outside is really, I guess, important to this house. And in a lot of houses I've had before, the outside spaces haven't really contributed to the level that to the level that these outside spaces do. So I don't know if that makes sense. So we're in kind of like the Snug the Lounge. It's an epic room, this. It's got a beautiful fireplace. When I bought it, it had these beautiful Delft tiles that are listed around the fireplace. I painted the whole room over in blue by Farrow & Ball. Kind of picked up the hues from the from the tiles as a kind of starting point. It just works so well. It's such a like earthy, nice kind of blue. It's a really nice kind of colour from the, you know, an inside colour that kind of brings in stuff from the outside. When I did this scheme, I had some stuff in mind. I really wanted to link the blue back to the tiles. I really wanted to, this is a mulberry stripe on the sofa, I really want to use that. I had this amazing chair that I'll show you in a minute, which is like a massive, it's a HÁM like oversized chair that is wicked because you can sit on it with the dogs. You know, me and Jarrah hang out on it with Wolfie. It's just like, it's an oversized chair. We love books, and everywhere we travel we pick books up. So, you know, if I'm up in Scotland, you know, every place we go I'll buy books, you know, or if I'm, you know, if we're traveling anywhere. So we needed a little bookcase. So we put this, there's this cool little sort of area here. So I put this bookcase in, which is great. And it's been, you know, it's fantastic because you can kind of go and grab a book, sit down, recipes, plan trips. I've got loads of stuff about road trips and places to stay and cool stuff. And it's just like a really cool place to grab a book and just slow down and hang out, light the fire, get some candles on. And it's also super cozy for watching films. There's a great view from the big chair up the valley. Yeah. And there's just like a little nook here. Got a dog that's trying to get in here. We'll let her in because she's get lost. There you go. That's Boo. And again, it's cool. We're always moving the books around and grabbing stuff. So yeah, it works really well. And it sort of creates quite a cool little spot to hang out. We sometimes bring a chair up into that corner so we can chill. But yeah, like the main room's beautiful. I've had this fishing trophy for a long time. It's a really lovely one. It's quite unique. It's quite big, and it just fitted perfectly. And that was like one of the anchors when I was doing the scheme, which I love. And then lovely old light. This is another piece of art, which is geese flying over an area in Scotland on an old OS map, which is from an artist that I buy stuff off called Mick. These are Ralph Lauren cushions, mulberry stripe. This is a really cool reclaimed stool that I found. It's kind of falling apart a bit, but I love it. It's one of those things that just kind of was perfect for it. I was looking for something at the time. Got one of our Studio HÁM rugs in here, which I love. But yeah, it's a great room to hang out in. The dogs are always on a sofa somewhere here. Watch out, Boo. This chair's cool because I'm huge, and it's nice to have like a big chair. It was from a company called HÁM, and I bought it not through them. I found it through someone. So I had it recovered. It's falling apart a bit, but yeah, I love it, and it's just such a nice place here. Feet up, hanging out. You've got a lovely view of the outside. These windows open. I'm always close to plants wherever I am, which I love. And yeah, there's an art TV on the wall, which is a nice way to have something with a picture on. A great oil painting of a Jack Russell, which I love. It's a bit wonky, I think. I need to straighten that up. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of elements coming together in this room, which, you know, it worked really well. And there's some quite kind of old art. There's some old things. There's some modern stuff. It's a great mix. I've bought these tables, which are like these kind of, not like faux bois, but they're just like really primitive, just kind of stick tables, which kind of side tables, which I love. But again, they just fit so well in the space. It's difficult to like these spaces that are so it's like good on the eye, and they're also low ceilings, so you don't want to put too much. I mean, I've used a mixture of, this is a Belgian company that we use, like wall lights to down light, and there's some kind of these little Jim Lawrence adjustable spots, which are quite cool because you can just direction the light at certain areas. I love using on the joinery, we've got Vaughan Rise and Fall Oban lights, and they're lovely because you can move them up and down. You've got some fabric materiality. There's a nice lamp that we turn on. So yeah, I mean, most of the time, I mean, there's a centre light in the other room, but we don't really turn it on because we love like low level. We love just like low key lighting, picking up little pops of colour or pictures. But again, it's crazy, especially in the winter. The mood here is just, it's mad. You know, you've got the fires going, you've got candles going. It's a real kind of like bunker down situation. It's so lovely, and the lighting really plays into that. And I've got everything on a system that's dimmable, so we really play with the light in here. So yeah, I think it's great to have a house where every room's got a certain thing happening in it, and we use every inch of this house for different stuff, and it's so nice to be able to do that. I mean, look, the house isn't massive, so we don't have like 10 spare rooms, but it's really cool, and everything's been created with something in mind, like doing stuff, whether it's, you know, big chairs to hang out with each other or the dogs, it's libraries for the books, it's artwork, it's just everything's been kind of thought of as to how we live, and it is really interesting, you know. And you live like in a bit of a, you know, it's not a big open plan house. You live in a really nice like, old school way here, where we sit down and have dinner every night together. You know, then we go in and once Wolfie goes to bed, me and Joe cuddle and hang out on the sofa, and it's just really nice. It really is the house works really well, and it's a serious vibe, the place, like, to be in. It's super nice. I use little stuff like this. Is like this kind of, you know, I think it's Mevel and Moon, which is like a really cool like safari outfitter. They do like portable furniture. You can take like out with you out in the field, basically. I love stuff like this because it's just really cool. Like it's got lovely detailing, lovely straps. It all folds up. I quite like having stuff like this inside. We put the TV controllers in here. And just stuff like that that's a bit unexpected, which is, again, a kind of a utilitarian piece of furniture that is nice to bring inside. So, yeah. But again, more logs, cool old log baskets, nice old chairs. This is a great little dresser chest of drawers that I found. It's like just the right scale. It's exactly, I put like a mood board together for this as I was buying it. It was a really hard house to buy. It's quite a complicated purchase. And I kind of created this mood board for the whole house to like really engage me in this whole thing. And I had I had an Irish dresser on it. I had a chest of drawers just like that. I had lots of dog artwork, and I kind of created this like mood board of the house. So when it was, you know, I'd got so, what the right word is, but it made me more committed to the whole thing. I kind of had this whole vision and I kind of saw it through. And even when it was really difficult, the purchasing, and it nearly didn't happen. And yeah, it was cool. But literally, I sat down over the course of a few weeks and just built this like mood board for the whole house. And it's crazy how similar it is to how it looks. At work, I do a lot of new projects or a lot of big refurbs and a lot of houses where we're putting all of this stuff back into it. And it's really cool to work with houses that have got all these beautiful things already there, because it's amazing. You know, we're trying to recreate this the whole time when you're doing new projects or building new homes or doing big restorations. So like having these old buildings that have kind of got this type of architecture, it's amazing. It's really cool. I love it. One of the things that surprised me when I came to view the house was it had this like stone built spiral staircase. It's like the back part of the house, which I'd looked at quite a few houses and they didn't, you know, a lot of them didn't have this, and a lot of these cottages, they have like quite small staircases. Although it's like a small opening, it's really beautiful. And the guy that lived here before hand bent and made all of this lovely handrail in one of the barns. So it's quite cool. But yeah, if you come up, it's a really cool little vibe up here. Got these big deep sills because it's the structure of the building. You've got these huge thick stone walls, and again for me it's like another opportunity to fill it with just cool stuff. This guy's a Belgian scholar, a plaster cast of a Belgian scholar bust that I bought, but I kind of put a little bandana on him, like trying to make him like maybe a bit more, maybe like Highwayman-esque or something. It's quite cool. And just little things that I've bought, like little jockey bin I made of plants here. We get power cuts up here quite a lot, so there's always candles everywhere. This is an old, I don't know what it is, it's some kind of decorative kind of plaque that my sister bought me, which I love. But again, there's lots of cool paintings. This is an Australian artist that I've got loads of his artwork. And again, like a big mix of quite fun stuff. He's quite a funny chap. A few portraits. Nice little painting of a stag. Yeah, and again, just like old things that I've collected. Quite like hanging textiles on walls where I can. Like that's just a cool like killing runner that I bought, which filled a space. It's like a little gallery you walk up through. Yeah, this is like the upstairs kind of hallway. Again, I've got like loads of art that I've had for ages. I think this is a painting from Somerset that I've had for like 12 years. I bought it in a junk shop in Somerton. This is a kind of a folky guy that I've got 2 bits of art. It's really cool. This is an old waxed wax decoy that they used to put out in fields, and I framed that. Kind of cool folky flags. Yeah, bathrooms. The bathroom's a cool space. This is I love this space. It's a really like calm. It's over on blue like the living room. Blue stone floors. This is our arrow stitch wallpaper from Studio HÁM. It's got really beautiful views out into the garden actually, but we kind of keep that across. Little blue ticking curtains. This is a country house rad that I bought that was leaking, that's been fixed at great expense. I've got 2 of them and I put that in there, which is lovely. Yeah, the bathroom's really cool. It works really well. I designed this kind of detail on the bath panel and on the vanity, and it's a product that we now sell. And it's just kind of, again, it's that picking up on that kind of trade blanket, that kind of detail. But it's lovely. It's kind of quite subtle. The showers works really well. It's great. Kind of behind this curtain, this is a mulberry stripe, one of my favourite fabrics. And again, it's playing with the blues quite a lot, but there's lots of different colours, and I think it really works. Behind here is a glass shower screen, so if you're bathing, you can push all that back. We bath our little man in here, which is great, and yeah, it's really nice. Waterworks fittings, Carrara marble, but it's lovely because kind of I've always struggled with looking into kind of like half bath, half showers. So it's a great idea that just keeps it tucked away, but adds a really lovely textile to it. Yeah, lovely little things like a nice little upholstered stool that we bought from a little vintage shop and had upholstered. It's really nice to sit on, add some fabric. Little runner in here, and then the same kind of tick on the back of the door. Nice to have a glass door because it kind of gives you a bit of a suggestion there's something past it. Antique mirror I've had for ages, which fitted perfectly in here, and then some nice wall lights. Yeah, this was really nice. This is an antique that I found that I love, having a freestanding cabinet or a wall cabinet in a bathroom's super nice. I love it. Me and Jara love soaps, and we always buy soap wherever we go. And when you open this, it smells amazing. And again, it's one of those things that you kind of come home and it's just something that I love. And we keep nice stuff in there, and my aftershaves and some of Jara's bits. But it's just that mix of it's getting that balance right. There's lots of projects you have to do that are quite new because they're you're creating new spaces, and it's these little details that just give it. That play with it a little bit, like the reclaimed towel rad and little elements that just soften it and just give it that kind of vibe. Yeah, well, this is Wolfie's room, our little boy. Kids' rooms are interesting, aren't they? We wanted, me and Jara put this together, and we wanted to kind of fill it with stuff that it's kind of timeless, so we're not, it could grow with him, but just some cool things that he could pick up on. And it's really interesting, Wolfie's our first, and it's amazing how much he loves all the art that we've put on the walls. We've got every morning, it's it's the moo moo. He thinks this is me. I got these cool bits of art from one of my friends, Bella, and I bought them through her. And he points, that's Dada, which, he thinks I'm a strong man. I like it. It's kind of fun. But he loves bears, and he goes bear, He loves milk, so we put him a little milk print. It's all surround him with stuff that kind of, that he loves as well, because he loves all this stuff. This is an oil painting of Margot, which is Jara's dog. And when Jara was moving down with me, as a present to her before she moved down, I sent her this painting. It's Margot. She hadn't moved in at this point, so it was how I imagine Margot in the valley. It's super sweet, and again, some of the furniture, this I've had this for ages. It's a primitive kind of bench with a cool scumble on. One of my really good friends, Helena, who's Wolfie's godmother, made this for him, which is just amazing. It's camo, skull and crossbones. What's not to like? Yeah, and we've got some old army boxes as toy chests. This is a sign that we had hand painted for here. One of our big rugs, because it's nice for the kids to play on. This is our arrow rug, and it works really well. He's got a really cool little teepee in the corner, which is really nice. And yeah, there's another little painting of a bear, which was given to us by Sammy, who's an artist, which is really cool. And yeah, it's just a little magical place. We put the ottoman in here because he likes to put all of his tractors and puts all of his stuff on there and plays. And then, you know, kids' beds are difficult. This is just something bought off the peg, and we painted in Farrow Ball, and we put these little bits of fabric through. That's his bed. He sleeps really well now, which is great. Cool American flag. We had an old vintage American flag, so we put that there. We love it. Wolfie's going to go over to the States soon for a little visit, so that'll be cool. A few little bits of artwork. That's actually a little wolf by Sophie Wake. That's Boo, that was painted for me by Eric Stefanski. And that's two bears hugging like a little Sophie Wake thing. But yeah, we painted it like a cool dark green colour. It's a little sofa for him. We read books to him on. Had these little shelves made out of some cheese board that I had. And one of our guys made a cool little bracket for it. These ducks I've had for ages, which are really cute. Like, just cast a nice silhouette. This was a great chest of drawers that we bought from a reclamation place not far from here, which just has got a great sort of patina. Kind of goes with the whole vibe. Yeah, but it's just a really cool room. I had me and Jared had a lot of fun kind of putting it together and getting all the art wall done, and yeah, it's beautiful. He loves it, and he backs on this little area to the left of the house here is where all the owls are. So at night you hear them hooting through the window. Actually, when Jared was down here pregnant with Wolfie, this was our room. It wasn't Wolfie's room, and she left the window open one night, and I was working overseas in Asia, and I got a call, and an owl had flown into the room and was sat on her headboard. It was a baby owl that had kind of got the directions wrong, and she ran out and called me, and I was like, well, I've got no idea what it could be, and she put the phone in and turned the light on, and there was a lovely little owl just sat on the end of her bed, and she just waited for it to fly out. But I mean, it's quite cool. This room was really cool. This is like one of the coziest rooms in the house, and me and Jara have always had a joke. She always wanted it for her room. It is obviously now Jara's room, because I say yes to Jara. But the cool thing about this room is it's got this like lovely ceiling detail, these little exposed beams. It had this amazing kind of built-in chest of drawers and wardrobe that's like been cobbled together from like various things, and it's super cool. It's one of the things that I look around the house, just thought like, how authentic and how nice to like, you know, it's always, joinery's always hard in these houses, and like, you know, they've done it out of antiques basically, some old doors, a large chest of drawers, and maybe they've kind of run out of steam a bit here and done something a bit more basic, but it's just really lovely. And again, like, it really anchors the room. Jara has kind of, you know, done this room herself. She's repainted it recently. She's stolen a few signs from other bedrooms. She loves this Bandit Country sign that was in our guest bedroom. She loves this Milandra Gun Club, which is one of my favourite bits of art, which is by an Australian artist called Tedderuck. I've got some of his stuff. It's really nice, but it's cowboys, duck. I mean, it's just fun. This is one of our Studio HÁM Harrison tables. These lights are cool. They're quite fun. They're from America, from a supplier. But yeah, big killing. I don't know where she found this flag from. It fits perfect. She wanted to find something really cool. I got this as a present because Jared basically runs the show down here. So I got her an estate office sign for the bedroom, which she found very amusing with her initials on. We had one of our guys paint it, which is quite good fun. This is another Mick Manning, which is that's done on an envelope, which is a cool artist. And I bought that recently, which is quite good fun. Little portrait that she loved. Beware grizzly bears and harlots, life is wild, from an artist. From a gallery I buy some stuff off called Sailor's Jail, which is cool. Yeah, and Jara is mad on cooking and reading, so she's got all of her stuff here. Everything's just right. She's got everything that she needs. This is my room. Massive fish theme here, as you can see, which is no surprise, I'm sure, if you've been watching the rest of this video. Jarrah makes a joke that I'm swimming with the fishes, which I think is like a gang term for that you're going to get knocked off and chucked overboard. But yeah, again, it's that kind of earthy blues. You know, I love fish, so I've decided to fill it with fish style vibes. Cool map of Scotland, because I love Scotland. These are like old like military kind of chests for side tables, which are great because they're great for storage, but they're just a cool kind of, again, like a utilitarian piece of furniture that works and is good fun. Always have my radio. I love listening to classical FM and BBC Three. I find it really relaxing and fall to sleep most nights with it on. I love wearing caps, so I've got caps everywhere around this house. I've got a massive collection. I've got some more up there on hooks. Again, like quite tricky to find stuff for this room. This was really cool. This kind of, I love the paint, like the finish on it. Found this wardrobe. It's not too deep. It was exactly the right size after ages searching. So that's great. And I have a few bits in there. Had this vanity custom made, which is one of our Malmo vanities with like a folky paint on that we do. With Waterworks tap and a Carrera marble top, which is really nice. It's so nice in these old houses where you've got like a sink in the room. Such like a nice thing to have. Even if you've got bathrooms, it's lovely to be able to like brush your teeth, or you know, all the water here, we've got like a private water source and it's all like really well looked after and really well filtered, so you can drink. The water here is amazing, it's from its own spring. But yeah, just to fill up a cup of water, and I love that like old school thing of, they didn't have many bathrooms when this cottage was built, so they always had sinks in the room, and as opposed to getting rid of it, I decided to keep it because it's another nice object. It's got nice materiality. The brass, got a little Vaughan rise and fall light there. It's one of my favourite lights, and we use it a lot at our practice. A Mick Manning eagle on a map of Scotland, which is over Perthshire, which I've spent a lot of time in, which is really cool. And lots of things I collected. This mirror, one of my best friends growing up, still is my best friend, is called Bill, and his mum. We used to stay there a lot when we were kids because we were at boarding school, and we went and Mimi looked after us. And as time went on, we went to school in Somerset, and Mimi kept a cottage in Somerset. And for a long time, I mean, she kept that cottage, and I would visit her every weekend and go down there and hang out with her, even if Bill wasn't there. And she was an amazing, amazing woman. I got a lot of fond memories from there. And she moved back to Venice full time and gave up the cottage. We had lots of nice stuff, and it was so cool to be able to buy some of her stuff off her. Like, this is one of the mirrors that was in one of the rooms that I used to sleep in. So I've kind of grown up with that, and I was able to buy it off of her and have it in my room now, and it's like lovely stuff like that. These old tea and cheese boxes, and again, they're from Mimi. So yeah, it's just really nice. So there's lots of bits in here. It's something I've had for ages, which I love. It was in the bathroom, but we put the heated towel in. But it's nice to be able to have something in the bedroom to put your towel over. This is actually one of our products from Studio HÁM. It's a bamboo chest, which is really cool. So it works perfectly here. I bought these years ago, and like these two old fishermen's portraits, and I've kept them. I've had these fish little etchings for a long time. I had them in my house in London, and I've kept them for here. So it's kind of, it's grown. Little decoy ducks, yeah, another little fern. Always got a book by my bedside. It's nice to read before bed sometimes. I'm not a big reader, but I quite like flicking through stuff. Old Swiss Army blankets, which are really cool. Such a nice thing. They're just like utilitarian. Really nice, not expensive. It's a lovely space to be in, and again, it's super cozy. The view up the valley is amazing, and like it's lovely to wake up to. I leave all the curtains open when I'm down here. I wake up with natural light. I love it. And sometimes you see all the deer coming down through the valley up here. But yeah, it's magical. Nice big just lovely curtains on a big pole. Just it's super nice, just to add a bit of weight to the whole thing. And layering, yeah. Sisal carpet. Again, kind of striped headboard and like a cord, kind of rough like linen green valance. One a possession that I've held on to for ages. I can't remember where I bought it. It's just beautiful. It's like on a half little log. It's hand carved and hand painted. Just a lovely thing. Yeah, that's one of my favourite things I've got, actually. There's like little things that I've got that I absolutely love, and that's one of them. I mean, I think there's two things. I think families make a house a home. Being with people that you love is like one of the key things for me. It's, you know, that is it. I mean, you know, my house, I've got, you know, I live with my fiance, my little boy Wolfie. We're expecting another little boy. We've got our 2 dogs here. I think that's one part of it. Creating somewhere that gives you like respite from your day-to-day, somewhere that you look forward to coming back to, and somewhere where you can relax. And it's that kind of like safe haven that doesn't really matter how bad your day's been or, you know, what you've been doing. It's that kind of always looking forward to coming home and getting that feeling. That for me is what makes a home. And, you know, creating beautiful interiors and like calming environments, and, you know, creating spaces that are filled with beautiful things and layered and textured and warm, and, you know, that's part of it. And for me, like at home, you know, it's not, you know, I'm really into like the whole experience. When, you know, when I come home and I eat, I love having a tablecloth. I love having nice cutlery. You know, I love plates. I love hand soaps. I love scents. The house is full of candles, and it's like all these little touch points that kind of add up to creating this kind of experience that, you know, that for me really makes it. And it's just a lot of different things coming together. For me, I've created this whole world for myself, and it's not because I've tried to create it, it's because I genuinely love what I do. I love design, I always have done. I love everything that comes with it. Whether I'm doing it for myself or for clients, I just really deeply enjoy it. And, you know, hopefully you can see with my home that it's like an honest creation of who I am. But I'm super lucky to be able to do this, because doing something that you love, and, you know, having the skill set to actually go and deliver it is amazing. And, you know, one of the benefits of that is you get to create these beautiful spaces for you and your clients that are authentic and, you know, are a reflection of, you know, your clients or your own.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.